You've followed the formulas, you've visualized the goals, whispered the affirmations, and scripted the future. And yet, there is a lingering tension, a quiet, persistent gap between the reality you are calling in and the life you are actually living. It's exhausting, isn't it? This feeling that you have to work at manifestation, as if you're trying to convince a reluctant universe to grant you a favor. You have been told that if it hasn't happened yet, you simply aren't aligned enough, adding a layer of spiritual guilt to your frustration. If you feel like you're pushing against a wall of invisible resistance, I want you to know you aren't doing it wrong. You've simply been taught to operate from the wrong frequency. You've been taught to hunt for your desires as if they exist outside of you, rather than allowing them to crystallize around you as a natural extension of your being. Today, we stop hunting. In the profound work of Danielle Rama Hoffman and her transmissions from the Council of Light, we find a radical departure from mainstream law of attraction rhetoric. The Council suggests that manifestation isn't something you do, it is a byproduct of what you are. Most people fail to manifest because they are trying to solve a spiritual problem with a material mindset. They use spiritual tools to achieve ego-driven goals, creating a friction that slows down the entire process. Today, we are moving beyond the woo-woo surface. We are going to explore 3 fundamental shifts, rooted in spiritual technology, ancient philosophy, and quantum psychology, that move you from a state of seeking to a state of divine opulence. These shifts are designed to dismantle the psychological architecture of lack that has been programmed into you since birth. By the end of this exploration, you will understand why the hard work of manifestation has actually been your biggest obstacle, and how to finally step into the flow of effortless creation. The first pillar of the Council's teaching is the transition from wanting to embodying. In our modern psychology, the act of wanting is an admission of lack. It is a declaration to the subconscious mind that the object of desire is absent. When you focus on a desire from a place of, "I need this," you are broadcasting a frequency of, "I do not have this." The universe, acting as a perfect mirror, simply reflects that state of absence back to you. The Council of Light introduces the emerald ray to solve this. This isn't just a visualization, it is a vibrational tool intended to activate your original seed of light. Psychologically, this corresponds to self-congruence theory. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between a vivid, embodied internal state and external reality. When you move from wanting a reality to embodying the version of yourself who already lives it, you trigger a shift in your reticular activating system, RAS. This bundle of nerves at our brainstem filters out useless information. When you embody the state of already having, your RAS begins to highlight opportunities and connections that were previously invisible because they didn't match your previous lack frequency. You stop looking for the door. You realize you are reeds in the room, and the room is simply expanding to match your internal space. You must move your focus away from the object and place it entirely on the vibrational signature of that reality. How does your body feel when that reality is present? What is the quality of your thoughts? The second shift is the move from forcing to allowing. We live in a culture that worships the hustle. We are told that intensity equals results, and that the harder we push, the more we deserve. But in the quantum field, this logic is inverted. When you apply intense pressure to a manifestation, you create what is known as excess potential. By making a goal overly important, you create a spiritual and psychological tension that the universe must balance out, usually by creating obstacles. This is why the things we want the most often seem the hardest to get. Hoffman's transmissions emphasize that the Council of Light is a support system. You are not meant to carry the weight of the how and the when on your own. Think of this through the lens of quantum decoherence. The observer effect suggests that our attention collapses a wave of infinite possibilities into a single reality. If your observation is filtered through anxiety and micromanagement, you freeze the wave into a limited outcome. By shifting into allowing, you enter a state of flow. You provide the clear, embodied intention, and then you step back. You allow the higher intelligence, what the Council calls the High Council, to handle the orchestration. This is not passivity. It is high-level spiritual efficiency. You are moving from a 3D linear approach, where you have to walk from point A to point B, to a multi-dimensional approach, where you collapse the distance between A and B by remaining in a state of receptive trust. When you stop trying to control the path, you allow the universe to take the shortcut. Finally, we address the concept of opulent bliss, linked to the Venus ray. Most people manifest from a place of survival. They want enough to pay the bills, enough to feel safe. This is just-in-time manifestation, rooted in the fear that there isn't enough to go around. Divine opulence is the psychological shift from scarcity to plenitude. It is the realization that the universe is not a zero-sum game. This aligns with the principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental. If the source material of reality is infinite consciousness, then your share is also infinite. You cannot take away from someone else's abundance because you are tapping into a field that generates itself endlessly. To manifest according to the Council, you must cultivate the frequency of bliss before the manifestation arrives. This is the ultimate hack of the human ego. The ego believes, I will be happy when I get the result. The Council says, be the bliss of the result, and the result must appear. High vibrational states like joy and gratitude are magnetic. They have a higher frequency that naturally attracts lower density realities into form. When you live in opulent bliss, you are no longer chasing the butterfly. You are tending to a garden so vibrant that the butterfly has no choice but to land there. You move from being a seeker of wealth to being a generator of wealth. This shift requires you to stop using your current bank account as evidence for what is possible. Your evidence is not in the world of effects. Your evidence is in the world of cause, your own consciousness. The Council of Light is not a distant, elite group of deities. They are a reflection of your own highest potential. Manifestation is not a trick of the mind. It is the natural inheritance of a soul that has finally remembered its origin. As Danielle Rama Hoffman teaches, you are a divine architect. But an architect cannot build a cathedral if they are still thinking in the dimensions of a shack. You must expand your internal architecture to hold the light of the Council. Stop fighting for what is already yours. Stop treating the universe like a retail store where you have to earn the right to buy. It is a mirror, and it is waiting for you to smile first. Shift from wanting to being. Move from forcing to allowing. Trade your programmed scarcity for the divine opulence that is your birthright. The quantum field is waiting for your signal. Not your plea, not your struggle, but your clear, resonant signal of bliss. If this perspective has shifted the air in the room for you, I invite you to join our community here at Sanctum. We are dedicated to deconstructing the myths of powerlessness and rebuilding the temple of the self. Like this video to anchor this frequency into your subconscious, and subscribe so you don't miss our next transmission into the depths of consciousness. Before you leave, tell me in the comments, which of these 3 shifts felt like the biggest click for you today? Was it the release of wanting, the power of allowing, or the embrace of opulence? Let's start the dialogue below and ground these concepts into reality. Be still, be radiant, be the light.